if you don't remember it, it never actually happened.
Well, my girlfriend.
Nothing's wrong with my computer.
Yeah. All right.
What to do? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good.
Market's not too happy.
That's okay. It'll lead to great things.
That's for sure. Which is what we're going to talk about today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the shit episode 8. 8, maybe not.
8.
Anyways, Shake, how you been this week? What's going on?
Doing well. Have to make some adjustments for this disaster of a market. How would you say you're doing?
I would say kind of the same thing. Mostly hands off, taking like little trades here and there. Nothing really working out too well for me. So keeping it super, super light, just looking at the overall market and seeing the action on the daily chart or the SPY, it's just telling me to hold off. We had, like you've said it a million times, we had like 4 months of great trading, and now it's just time to sit back and not throw away all those gains.
Right.
Some people are doing well. We see a couple people in the chat, Django killing it, just printing money every morning. That's just not my style, so that's something that's very important to me, is like people can be winning, and that doesn't mean that I have to be winning. I just have to sit back and wait for my thing to work, and just be happy for those that can take advantage of these times.
I think there's so much value right now, even if you're not trading, just to sit and watch this action, because when the action does turn, it's so obvious when that good action comes back compared to what we're seeing now, which is just choppy moves. And, it's completely a day trader's market. You talk about Django, he's a day trader. So it's like, no offense in saying that, I'm day trading in this market as well. So it's like, it's all about making the proper adjustments. We had those 4 months where it was just easy swing trading environment. And now we're getting that volatility, and it's not going to be done in a week. We're going to see this action for probably the next, 3-4 weeks. Who knows? Who knows? But once the volatility hits, it doesn't leave for a little bit. Once investors remember what it's like to lose money again, market action. No, seriously. Once people, learn to remember what it's like to lose money, the volatility hits, and it sticks around usually for a few weeks at a time. So to me, it's about making those adjustments. What I'm doing in this environment is shrinking my time frame down. Just trying to find that one. And I was talking with Django about this today. Day trading this market, it's like you have to have a really high batting average if you're going to trade, because you're not going to make much more than 2-1 on any of these trades. Sometimes when they get stretched, like we're seeing huge ranges in the market. So if you can find those 3-1, 4-1 winners, but the likelihood is hugely decreased. So we were talking about today. What I was talking about today with him is just like keeping that batting average super high, being content with a 2-1 winner, and just taking your wins and just leaving, and that's it. Just not over trading, just finding your 1-2 winners a day, and that's it. So this market's really about making adjustments right now. I'd say it's the biggest thing.
For sure. And like you mentioned earlier, it's a really great time to just kind of sit on the sidelines and pay attention if you're a new trader. Because we recently just got a handful of new traders, and when something like this happens, automatically I think of them, and I'm like, oh shit, because like they just joined, they're hyped, they're ready to be an alpha chat and trade, they've seen all the profits we've been making and all this kind of stuff, and then you get into a point where things are,
oh my god,
it's a blessing in disguise. I know that's hard right now, but when the market starts to get really good again, and we start getting those easy layups again, it's going to be really great that you went through something like this, because obviously it's a pretty hard pullback. We get them about once a year, at least. So it's good to go through this early on and learn from it.
And I think so. Paul Tudor Jones always said the best money to be made is at market turns. So what he famously does is he'll short these markets and crush that move. That's not for me. I'm a long-term swing trader. So when we do get that turn up to the upside, and it really turns in a macro way, that is when the most explosive moves happen to the upside. If you can remember the end of this like the third and fourth month of this, we weren't seeing as many of the bull market run. We weren't seeing as many explosive moves. In those first 2 months, it was like, that's when the good money is to be made in my eyes. You could still make it a trending environment, obviously, but the best and most explosive action is made at the turns of the market. So when we do finally get that upside turnaround, that's when, the market gets hot again. And that's when it's really fun to be a swing trader to the long side. That's why, we've been talking about a lot lately about like avocado toast time, like walk away from the computer. Now, I think there's so much value in just sitting, watching, working on your discipline, watching shit action and knowing that it's shit action. So when the action's good, it's so obvious, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's really important.
Of course, you have to kind of know that you have to know the bad side to really be able to take advantage of the good side.
Right. Completely.
You look at any athlete, they're looking, if they're an offensive player, they're looking at how defense plays. They're looking at how it works, that they can work around it. So same kind of thing here. You definitely want to know what not to do and when not to trade, because those are going to be great signs for when this happens again, because eventually it will happen again. We'll have another good run and then it'll happen again for some other virus or whatever it might be. So, like I said before, having this experience early on is a really, really good lesson.
Yeah, absolutely. And the market is just, what the market does is just an endless supply of information. That's all it's doing. It's spewing out information. So once we got that first down move, whatever that was, the Monday, the gap down before like all the disaster stuff, that told me it's like, you need to make adjustments, and it's all about your personality, yourself. We always say that the adjustments you make are going to depend on you. So if you're more of a macro swing trader, it's like take a step back. Definitely still watch. Definitely make use of all this information, but recognize this isn't your market. For me, it's shrinking my time frame down, going back to those old day trader ways. I've been doing well with it. I'm going to stick with that while the market's doing this. I'm not going balls to walls with risk right now, but I can make some money in this type of environment, so I'm going to continue to do so. But it's about making adjustments that are working for you, your personal time frame. So I see a lot of guys like, I'm hands off. That's fine. Just stick with that. You don't have to be the the hero day trader that some people try to be in the chat. So making constant adjustments to what the market's giving out, and just constantly reading that information that the market's supplying.
Something I wanted to address is I get a lot of people outside of trading experts and in trading experts that ask, why is this happening?
Oh God,
why is the market dropping? And obviously, like right now, somebody can tell you it's news, it's the coronavirus, it's elections, it's whatever it is. But my response is, it doesn't matter why it's happening, right? Because by the time you figure it out, let's say you figure out exactly why it happened. It already happened. It's past. And then the next time it happens, it's going to be for another reason.
Right.
So there's no point, yes, there's a pattern that it goes up and then there's a pullback, but it's never for the same reason. So you'll never really, there's no reason to learn why. Instead, ask like how you should react to it and what you should do.
Exactly. Oh God, that's like the most annoying thing I think with new traders. They always need to know why. It's just like some things just are. The market just is. The market needed to pull back anyway. So it took the coronavirus as the excuse it needed to pull back.
Reason,
It was an overbought market. So we got that reset. Corrections happen every single year. So that's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Don't be so concerned about why. Who gives a fuck why?
You heard it here first. But
breaking.
Another thing that I really want to talk about, and actually I was rereading Market Mindsets by Mark Minervini, and one of the chapters that he talks about is commitment, right? And that's a word that gets thrown around a lot in trading. You go through the programs. In the beginning, you message me, hey, I'm super committed to learning, like I'm really excited to do this, and I'm super excited too. Like I want you to go and do it, but it's unfortunate the amount of people that are committed and then you never really hear from them a week later or even, a month later, sometimes even a day later. And I'm not going to knock on everyone's door and be like, hey, so are you still committed? Like you have to go and do that yourself. I'm here to help. Shake is here to help. Other people are here to help. But commitment is a tough word. I mean, how would you define commitment, Shake?
Commitment breaks down into two things, I would say. I would say it breaks down into dedication and goal setting, dedication, discipline, and goal setting. So it's not always going to be easy in the market. That's why I say dedication. You're gonna go through your lumps, And a lot of guys, give me the sob story, like, oh, I didn't make any money. That's part of fucking trading.
Yeah.
It's going through the tough times and getting your mindset, ready for the roller coaster that is trading.
Hmm.
I think it comes with discipline because as I was just saying, it's always hard. And then goal setting, I would say, is the most important thing. And where it's like, I'm gonna have my annual goals, then I'm gonna break them down into monthly goals, and now I'm breaking things down into weekly goals as well.
Right.
And the weekly goals have to be like, for me in this market, it's gonna be like not over trading,
Hmm.
just being comfortable with your like 2-to-1 winner day trades, things like that. Not being over involved, and
Hmm.
just trying to kind of navigate the market for the alpha traders and things like that as well as I can. But I think people in general, people have such lofty goals when entering the market, like impossible goals. They want to make that 100% return in 3 months when they've never traded before. And it's just like, we hear the same stories over and over again about, I want to be this, I want to do this. And then as you were saying, you never see that commitment.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, it's also not their fault, I mean, sometimes they just get this idea that they can go and make 100% in 3 months because that's kind of just what you see. When you're not part of the markets and you just see, trading groups and stuff, they're showing their profits. I mean, we show our profits, but that's, I mean, some people will say like, oh, you're selling lies. But I mean, you look at any kind of commercial or whatever it is, they're only going to show you the benefits of getting that product. So that's not like, we're just doing what we need to do, but you have to have realistic goals. It's just hard to realize what is real and what's not real until you actually start trading.
yeah, and also tell those people to fuck themselves. I was in here a week ago talking about, oh my goddamn rookie mistakes. All right, you think that's fun to do? You think I want to do that?
Yeah,
Get out
no,
of here.
I feel
Get out
you.
of
I
here.
feel you. I feel you.
Um,
Well, so look, when I was reading the book, here's Voldemort's definition of commitment. So it's simple. The thing you said you were going to do long after the excitement and jubilation you initially felt has faded.
right.
Right? So it's easy to be committed in the beginning when you haven't done anything. How committed will you be? You get smacked in the face and you lose, more money than you expected because something happened and all these things. And um, that's something that new traders really need to learn quickly is that it's part of the game, like you said earlier, and
Yeah, and just the market's gonna just give you lumps, and you're gonna go through these mental anguishing points, and that's just the part of trading that it's like that's the learning curve that you have to get over. It's just everyone goes through it. It sucks, but there's no way around it. There's no way to become a great trader without going through that. It's just
right.
simple math, really.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a great trader being born a great trader. It's just not
Right. No, it
possible,
comes with work. I
you
mean,
know.
maybe you have someone in the family or something like that that's guided you, so you have a head start on people. But still, you need to go through your own mental pain and all that thing, all the ugly things that
For
no one
sure.
wants to talk about in order to put up the flashy P&Ls.
For sure. For
It's just
sure.
part of the game.
Yeah, and it's all perspective. Even if you're starting with $100 or you have money from a different business and you're able to start a little bit bigger, it feels the same way. For
Right.
those people that are making smaller losses and the people that are doing bigger ones. But
Yeah.
makes you
Completely.
stronger.
I completely agree. I used to lose like $300, when I was just starting off and be like, oh my God, the things I could have done with that money. That could have been like
Right.
a quarter of my rent. It could have been this, that, this, that.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't be sitting here today if I didn't go through that painful time. I was telling one of our guys how who's going through some struggles right now. I used to literally, our office used to be next to the Staten Island Ferry. I would have bad days, and I would just go sit there and stare into blank space as millions of people walking past me at the Staten Island Ferry, and I'd just be like, "What am I doing with my life?" Blah blah blah. Seriously, and it
Straight
was
out of
like,
a movie scene.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's
Dreadful.
raining and shit.
No, it was yeah. But no, and like that is what made me be able to get through the mental anguishing shit that I still go through. Everyone goes through it. It's just
Yeah.
it's not as difficult once you go through it.
Right, right, right. Yeah, you still go through them after. It just
Still
hurts
go through
less.
it.
You get through
Right,
them.
right. Now you're just you get to a point where it's like you're mad, yes, yes, yes. And now it's like, what am I going to do to fix it? That's really the big change.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I'll much more quickly get over the anger and the whatever, the regret, blah blah blah, and just kind of get back to working. Like, all right, now how do I fix these mistakes?
Mm-hmm. 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 And something that I also see obviously is when the markets are acting like this, you start to see the member count drop a
Yeah,
little bit in
yeah,
TE, right? You start to see people giving up, and for some people, that's not a terrible decision. Like if you can't handle these kinds of things, then maybe trading's not for you, and that's okay. That's something that you have to be able to know for yourself. But those, like I said, that are committed, you got to stick through it. Like this is the important stuff. This is where the lessons are learned.
Yeah, the
You
losses
don't
are what
learn
make you.
from wins.
Yeah. No, I mean, that is the most simple sentence that is, speaks everything about trading. You don't learn much from the wins.
Yeah.
And you need the losses. You need to go through the painful times in order to become great. But you also need to work on your own game. You need to figure out why you're making these losses and things like that. But, there's no way to get around that. There's just no way around that in trading.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's take a flashback to when you had just first started trading. Can you remember a time that was like this in like your first year, first 2 years?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I completely bought into all the fear mongering. 2014, that like first pullback, maybe it was 2015. Our first boss was like, he was this day trader who never wanted to take risk overnight. So, and he would always buy into the conspiracies and things like that. And he was just like, dude, go long anything, short anything, just like let it fly type trader, and very, very, very good trader. But he would get caught up in the bullshit and the hype. So naturally, like I thought the market was going to crash, a 50% like fall in the S&P I was expecting, and all these things. I don't even remember what the news was. It was like Greece debt maybe or something like that. But now going through it a few times, or like annually pretty much, it's like, yes, the 16% down move we had in a week was horrible. It's horrible, but you're not looking at it as like, oh my God, are we going to zero? You're looking at it as more of like where are we going to rebound? What's rebounding? Where's the money flowing? Things like that. Is this the bottom? Are we turning around? Blah blah blah. So it just changes of I would say how you look at the moves. What you're thinking, your thought process, and just generally, it's like the U.S. economy is strong as fuck. Like we're not gonna take a 50% haircut in the markets. And you just look at historically and like at the things that have happened. Barring like '08, the financial crisis when things were actually overblown. But other than that, I'd say it's just going through these experiences and just not panicking as much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would say my first real one was probably like that end of 2018. December 2018. Yeah, Christmas. That was like when I was the Christmas massacre. Yeah. So I remember being so emotional about it, and like I would either like everything was just doing the opposite of what I wanted, So I was trying to catch the bounce. It wouldn't work. And then I even tried to short. It ended up popping up again. And I'm just like, holy shit, like I'm actually a fucking terrible trader. Like I'm like realizing all this stuff. I'm like, wow, I'm actually like, I just wasted so much time learning this, and I can't even be a trader. This is crazy. Like, how am I ever going to make money? Like there's no way, like I can't do this. There's no way. I took a little step back. And then obviously things have changed a lot since then. I stuck to it.
Would you be where you are today had you not gone through those painful times?
No chance. No, right. I'm way more relaxed this time around.
Exactly.
Way more relaxed. I'm just chilling. Somebody posted a meme in the chat that was like just a guy like sitting back eating popcorn, and I'm like, yeah, that's literally me right now. And it's true. And it's the emotions are so different. I was just so low back in 2018. It was just I was on the verge of giving up, and that's why I'm so dedicated to like trying to get people to keep pushing through, because I've been through that myself, with my own eyes and my own heart and my own brain. So like, I know what it feels like, and I've been there, and like, I know that when you push through, it works. So, they say 95% of traders fail, but I think that they forget to continue that phrase. And it's mostly because they end up quitting too early. That's why they actually fail. There's no failing until you quit.
Or you run out of money.
Yeah,
well, a lot of people run out of money. A lot of
accounts. You run out of money, and that's a problem too. That can be an issue. But with the proper risk management, like we have, the only time you can really fail is if you quit.
Right. Well, but most new traders want the 300% return in a month, so they gravitate towards the options, the leverage, and all these other things. Like that's why we say learn first. But That's
Yeah.
a different
Yeah.
different topic in itself.
And I know people who make money trading options.
Oh
they do
yeah, me
great.
too. But it's like,
But you still have to learn how to trade before you can go do that.
right,
And
okay,
that's where
that thing,
people are just like, nah, I'm just gonna go trade options. Like, why would
right.
I learn? I can just go trade options.
Tesla calls.
Tesla calls, space puts, like we just, throw them
Fuck
all
it,
out
let it
there.
fly.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, back to emotions and the changes. I mean, now it's like I'm taking like a lot of notes during this time when like during 2018, I was just freaking out. I was literally so stressed. I didn't want to talk to people. Like I was really just pissed off because I really thought that, I was like, I was committed to trading. Right? I was
Right.
committed. I was like, oh wow, this is awesome. Like I can really grow this way and I'm gonna be like super focused and dedicated. And then I'm getting hit with all this stuff. And I'm like, shit, I don't know if I'm so committed to this,
Right.
And it took a lot of mental strength and just self-talk to push through it. And I think the only reason that really worked for me is because I see it with my own eyes that people are succeeding. You wouldn't be in your position if when something happened like this, it was the end of the world.
Right.
So you just know from example, you can see it. So people just gotta push through.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
Oh, okay. So I remember like a couple episodes ago, I was asking like, what do you tell people when they ask you what you do for a living? You
Yeah.
said, bakery. So now I've started, because now I actually post some of these videos on my Instagram, whatever, and then people message me and they're like, hey, this is my favorite phrase. They go, I'd love to pick your brain sometime.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you get those?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So like, how do those conversations usually go to you? How do you handle those?
I just ask them what they want to know, and I let them lead the conversation, and I just give them the best advice I can. But I mean, it all buckles down. Usually, it generally boils down to the same few things we keep touching upon here. It's like, don't have such a short-term mindset, blah blah blah. Where it's like, don't focus on the leverage and the options and that. Have a really long-term time horizon. Understand that you're not going to learn it all overnight and things like that.
Yeah. And
That's
then they
in
don't
general.
listen.
No, who the fuck listens? No,
Who the fuck listens? Why would
I
I
didn't
do
give them
that?
the answer they wanted. The answer they wanted
Exactly.
was
Yeah. They
buy
weren't
this
there to listen.
here. Yeah,
Yeah. They
yeah.
weren't there to listen to. Yeah. Same kind of thing here. It's
Like,
just, it's, I appreciate it. I appreciate that people want to reach out and listen to what I have to say. But most of the time I just end up sounding like a salesman because I'm like, why don't you join Trading Experts? And like, you can learn everything, like it's all there. You can get hours and hours of knowledge, of brain picking from better traders than me. And then they're just like, nah, I don't really want to do that.
yeah, that's too much commitment.
Yeah, too much. Exactly. I'm
Too much.
committed, but I'm not that committed. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you have like tips for those people that are looking to still make a couple bucks here and there. You said that you've been day trading, looking at shorter time frames. Could you be a little more specific about that?
So, yeah, definitely. The first thing I do is I'm very patient off the open. I'm not as much watching for setups to trigger off the open. I'm gonna have a basket of like a handful of names. All right, in a trending market, when I post like a pre-market, like what I'm watching today, it's probably gonna be like 30 names. Like, in the best times, 20 names. Now I'm gonna just boil that down to 4, 5, 6 names. I'm gonna watch those names off the open. I'm gonna see which one's strongest, which one's weakest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as afraid to go. I'll short. I'll go long, and I'm gonna keep a really small time horizon where I'm just trying to capture like a 2-to-1 winner intraday. But I know that I have to have such a high batting average to make money doing that. I've got to win over 50% of my trades and all that. So it's like if I find a one winner in the morning, like today with the STNA, where I just like we bought it, I sold it like
that was a good
20.
one.
I sold it like 20 minutes later. It's like I'm like never teaching anyone to do this. From a
Disclaimer.
swing trading perspective, it's like this is something I'm not trying to teach people to do. But if I'm sitting here and I can see it in front of me, and I've done this before where it's worked out for me, I'm going to continue to do so. But this isn't where the big money's made at all for me. This is just kind of like just trying to continue to build the account slowly. But in the past month or two, this isn't where I'm like trying to size up. I'm not trying to size up.
So like how much risk, let's say you're usually risking 1%. What are you risking on a trade like this?
Probably quarter percent,
Quarter percent.
maybe a third of percent. Today I risked a quarter percent, made a 0.5%. Cool, and I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm still being productive. I'm still building my account, and then I can still help the chat, and I can still navigate the market for everybody else. So I'm still providing value and doing what I need to do. but I know that I'm not making that. I'm not risking 4%, try to make 20% on any trade because I just know the probability and the risk reward and things like that, where it's like I have to have such a high batting average right now to make money. It's much more difficult to do. So, you know, it's just like focusing on those few names, I would say, is most importantly. And then being patient off the open, getting information, and then never hesitating. Can't hesitate when you're day trading. You know, where it's like swing trading, your price doesn't matter as much. Day trading, your price completely matters. Every kick matters. Everything is so much more important. When you shrink your time frame, you know, you have to be so much more perfect. This is why I'm telling people, like, you don't have to do this. You have to be so perfect with your executions and your kicks and the names you're getting in. And it's just there's a lot more room for error day trading versus swing trading. But right now, there's no sense in swing trading because the markets are up and down 5 and 6% like every day.
Yeah, you're just not going to get like a nice 3-day move out of anything. Yeah.
Right. So it's like if you're just a pure swing trader, you have to make adjustments. That adjustment is just pulling back that risk right now. For me, it's shrinking the time frame, trying to find that one or two winners a day. You know, just taking a 2-to-1 risk reward winner and being comfortable with it, and not hemorrhaging my account doing so, risking 0.25% a trade, things like that.
Yeah. That's good advice. Yeah. And then so for the people that they are more of a long-term trader, they're hell no, I'm not doing that short time frame stressful stuff. I want to keep my hair for a couple more years. What should they be looking for?
So they should be looking for a big turnaround in markets, but really it's not going to happen in the next week. I don't think unless we retest these lows. I would say you kind of gotta watch your favorite names, watch how they move. Pick out your favorite names that you missed on the way up and try to focus on them on the way down. Like for me, it's Amazon, Shopify is on that list too. But other than that, I don't know, just watching and gaining as much information as you can. But there's no magic trick I could tell them right now. It's because it's going to be a minute before the market turns. I don't know when it's coming. I don't know. We could take out these lows that we put in a couple days ago and, shed another 10%. Anything's possible in the market. Yeah. So I would say just be patient and, don't force it. Number one thing is do not force it if you're a swing trader right now.
Yeah. And I mean, you could always just turn on YouTube, look up trading experts, smash the like on a couple videos, and
there you go.
And learn a couple of things while the market, the dust settles, and then you can get back in when things are back we're back in our element.
Yes, exactly.
There's nothing worse than getting chopped up in this kind of environment and then losing, half or even more of the gains you made over the last few months.
And then losing that dedication and that commitment because you're so mentally drained and anguished, and you're never going to be a winner in the market. And, everyone who's a successful trader has gone through those horrible, horrible times and pushed through. And that's what's made them a better trader. And,
more than once.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fucking every other week. But, it's about pushing through. And it's like, if you're going through a tough time, I don't have any magic thing I can tell you other than push through, and that these times will make you. That's really it. It's like the hard times is what make you a successful trader. Now it's your job to figure out the mistakes you're making and, why you're making them. And is it your time frame? Is it your executions? Is it the stocks you're looking at? It could be any number of things, but you have to journal your trades like crazy. And you got to be mentally tough to be a trader. That's, I can't put it any more plainly than that. There's no more difficult game on this planet than the stock market. So, the smartest guys in the world, have tried and failed, in spectacular fashion.
I just look at it as off season, you're not really in the game, but you're still practicing, you're still training, and so that you can be ready for the season again. Because not only, if you are getting chopped up and you're losing money and all this kind of stuff in this kind of environment, you're not going to be ready for the bounce back. You're not going to be ready for that move back up. You're going to have to readjust. You're going to have to readjust, and you're going to miss that prime time, like you were talking about, that first 1 to 2 months of great action. You're not going to be able to take advantage of it right from the beginning because you're going to be late to that too.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, man, it's off season. That's when you get to rock the Jordans. You're gonna walk around those.
Yeah, if it was a good season, maybe.
Yeah, if it was a good season, that's true. But yeah, guys. I mean, I think we're gonna wrap this one up. A couple key points here for sure. Really define what commitment is to you and be committed to the process and not the goal. That's super important. What else can we say? I mean, understand that things like this happen. They're going to happen again. So they're just going to make you stronger, and you can learn a lot from this environment.
Right. Every trader has gone through it. Every single guy you've ever heard of on TV or anything like that has gone through these difficult times. The only way to get through them is to push through and to take every lesson you can from them.
Boom. And with that, we say goodnight. Smash the like, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right. See you later.